It's the Mac and Rock podcast,
Yeah.
number 5.
Yeah, it is number 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last Saturday, I think you texted me, and I was like, oh, yeah, man, we totally spaced it out. But that week's tough.
I mean,
4th of July week.
yeah. Just the whole shutdown. I mean, I don't know about you. I was just vibing.
Yep,
Like,
just
it was-
vibing.
Yeah. I mean, we stayed busy. It was just, I forgot what day it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I texted you, like, I woke up.
it's all good.
I was like, I didn't know today was Saturday.
Yeah, we would have did a show, I'm sure. So,
Yeah.
because this is really cool. So, and we'll let everybody know too that we're going to start our own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we'll just get it fired up.
Yeah.
And see, I'm gonna go off the tutorials that I watch, like from Think Media and a couple others, to see if we can follow that and if it works.
Yeah.
Because they say you can get 1,000. There's people that can get 1,000 subscribers within a couple days. Now I don't know about that, but they also say on average, 3 months. And I'm like, okay, so I've had this channel for well over 10 years, but of course I didn't really. Just something fun.
Just have fun. Yeah. There's
back then I didn't know you could monetize it.
I thought about that pretty hard because I remember, I'm a child of the 2000s, that turn of the century, and YouTube was just someplace you watched cat videos and stuff. It wasn't anything like, you just see funny stuff, and I never even thought about one time ever really.
Pursuing it like a job or something.
Yeah.
People do though. It's like
Mr. Beast,
dude.
that guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
mega props.
Oh
man.
my gosh,
what an
incredible.
Inspiration.
Yeah,
just a huge inspiration.
Yeah. And I don't know him personally, but I mean, from what I've seen, seems like a good dude.
I love his videos, man. They're so much fun to watch when they do the craziest things. But he'll tell you, though, he started at nothing. He didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And then he says, and then I started getting into the insights and looking at my the statistics and all the, how can I make a better thumbnail? How can I do this? And now look, they have these wild videos. Some of them are so much fun.
The Squid Game
that was
video
amazing.
Awesome. I mean,
that
was so
amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
And it takes a lot of money, which he made. A lot of money. YouTube's first billionaire, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you just hit 300 million subscribers. I don't want to short sell it because I mean that's a
way to go, Mr. Beast.
Crazy.
I'm all for people's success.
Yeah,
Josh. There's a term for it. Like a squeaker or something. Where you're just kind of advertising for people, shout outs, things like that. Man, I'm always for people. To be successful.
100%. Yeah, friends, family. I mean.
I never really get too jealous.
Yeah.
If anything, I get motivated.
I get motivated and I start thinking, oh, man, that was such a great idea. Like that. And it was so simple.
What do I got to do? Well, there's things you have to get off your butt and work.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's the thing, too. Like, the successful streamers, YouTubers, all that. It seems like it was easy. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, they just sit around and make videos all day. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of business behind it. There's a lot of art behind it. I know it sounds silly to say art, but in reality, you got to know how to set up a shot. Editing,
setting up
audio. It's tough work. I mean,
like I tell my daughter, Josh, it's not necessarily about being smart. It's about not being lazy.
Yeah.
Which, my mom heard me say that, and she'd laugh. Right, and Amber might even laugh a little.
Yeah.
But I'm up at 3:30.
Oh yeah, you grind
almost every day. I was up at 4 today.
Yeah.
4:30, and because I had to play a little Fortnite. After the week we had.
Yeah.
Which we won't talk about that, but after the week we had, I had to. I had to shoot something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. You motivated me. I'm
what you're showing
more
me.
Stuff. Yeah. And trying to get back into it. I mean, I went to school for entertainment business, and I graduated and I was gung ho, ready to get stuff going, and then life happens. Life takes its turns, and so I kind of got pulled out of it, and and you got me motivated again to really kind of start diving back into that, and man, I've had a blast. Like I'll be honest, I feel so much more like myself over this last month or so. And
Oh, very cool.
yeah, so
Well,
it's been nice.
I know we mentioned on a earlier podcast that we had seen each other in passing at work for probably years.
Oh yeah,
now.
probably a year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our first big conversation led to this.
Yeah.
How cool is that, man?
See, that is the amazing part of life. I know it can be a roller coaster and there's some bad times, but there's some great times. And I feel like people come into your life, things happen in your life for the right time for the right reasons. And it's not always clear at the moment. But anything good can happen.
Yeah.
And it's I mean,
here we are on our 5th.
Yeah.
And if we wouldn't have skipped last week, it'd been our 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
4th of July.
Yeah, boy, that was a good week though. That was fun.
Yeah. Wait, what you do anything cool?
I had 4. I played 4 shows.
Yeah.
2 nursing homes and then 2 big parties, and they were wonderful. Just both for classmates of mine that I went to school with.
Yeah.
All through elementary and high school, and wonderful people and their families are just wonderful. So I got to play 2 great parties and just had a blast.
That's cool.
So and Bees, I always say I've got the best seat in the house when I play with Bees, and I know he really digs the bass. He really digs my bass playing, which is always cool. But boy, he's singing and playing, and then when he sings his own songs that he wrote, it's like, oh man, this is cool.
Yeah.
So that's it. Watched fireworks on 2 different lakes, Syracuse Lake.
Oh yeah.
On the 4th.
We were out there. Yeah.
Wasn't that a nice show? It was great.
It was a great show. The only problem we had is the seats we picked. We thought this pine tree that was in front of us was going to be out of play. Like,
and it was in play. They were pretty low this year, I noticed.
Yeah, it was a little low. It was a little low.
Webster had low fireworks too, but man, they were cool. Yeah. So and then on Saturday night, I watched them right from my front yard here.
Yeah.
I found a spot in between these 2 houses across the road, and it was the island's right there. You can see Epworth Forest Island. It's perfect show. It was a great. Webster had that was the best finale that I've seen in a long time out of any fireworks show. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
See, that's how I felt. We went to Tin Caps. We took the boys. It's kind of our annual thing we do around July. Which if you haven't been there, I highly recommend. Great time, great park. They do a great job up there. And then the fireworks, they're not long, but they are fantastic. They are worth it. I mean, just if you want to see some good fireworks, you enjoy baseball, definitely go because it's awesome.
It's a great stadium.
Awesome. Yeah,
I mean Fort Wayne. I love Fort Wayne, Josh. I love it
too. Yeah,
it's historical. Mm-hmm. It's the 2nd biggest city in Indiana.
Crazy, right?
Funny, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, man, that downtown area, the work they're putting into it, it's just a great little city.
Oh, those apartments that are right behind the stadium.
Oh, aren't those cool?
Man.
Tempting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tempting is like, if I was 22 years old.
I know.
Oh, man. And Mike and I have recorded there at the big library that's right across the street from all that.
Which is really cool, too.
At the WBOI studios. Yeah. And, wow, what a I don't know. It's a great city.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love playing Fort Wayne, and it doesn't happen enough.
Yeah, if you get up there to play, let me know because
sure.
I enjoy going up that way.
I've played at all the big places, even the Coliseum. Even Coliseum. Of course, not a big, popular concert, but a big festival, Yeah. And that was a great experience. Of course, Pierre's is always just fun.
Yeah.
C2G2 or C2G Come to Go Ministries there. Boy, what a great stage they have.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of not as well known as like Pierre's, but they have a awesome stage, probably $1 million, $2 million setup there, audio and video. Yeah.
That's
played there a few times, and then Legends, when Legends was there, that was always fun. And, of course, the greatest place to play in Fort Wayne, Columbia Street West.
Oh, I've never been there.
That place was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was just awesome. I played there with two bands, and 3 bands, actually. 3 bands. Oh, going back to the 90s. 3 bands, and, man, that place is cool. Very cool. I don't know if it's still open. It might be, but I know the guy that used to run sound. Was the sound manager. Ran sound for every band coming in and out of there, whether they were national acts or local bands.
Yeah.
He was awesome. His name was Richard Replogle, and I don't know if he's still with us anymore, but boy, he was fun, and he made you sound good. And he made it sound like you were at a bona fide concert, man. Oh, yeah,
That's
he was
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Columbia Street West. I don't know if it's still there. I think off of Calhoun, maybe. Calhoun Street down there. Right downtown.
Yeah.
And then you'd walk a block or two away, and the nice hotels there, the Hilton, I think. So I would play a show at Columbia Street West, walk a couple blocks away with my bass in hand, and stay at the Hilton.
Yeah.
And I loved doing that. That's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, we enjoy going up there. The zoo. The zoo's fantastic.
You know what? That zoo is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not a giant zoo.
Nope.
Which makes it nice
But
because
it's
you go and
big
you can
enough.
see everything. Yeah.
Big
It's
enough.
beautiful.
You get out there around the safari, Josh. I love that.
Yeah.
Especially now with the sky carts.
Oh, I know.
How fun's that?
I remember taking Bennett when he was probably 2, and that poor kid. I'm pretty sure that's why he doesn't like heights now.
Oh, got a little traumatized.
Yeah. We were like, it shouldn't be a problem. It doesn't look like it goes that high. And then we got up there, and you look down, you're like, we're up here.
Yeah. It gets up there.
Yeah.
And I believe they have a log plume ride there around the
that's
Australian.
A classic.
Yeah.
I remember that was there when I was a kid. And, you know, I think it was my brothers or somebody told me, they're like, oh, they got alligators in there. You know, they go through the alligator spot. And so anytime you hit like the rapids and stuff, they're like, there it is.
Yeah.
And
that would scare you if you're little.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Believable.
Yeah.
Because it's the Australian, I think.
Yeah, which they did an awesome job.
Yeah.
With when they did a remodel of that. That's so cool. I don't know. I love that zoo.
That zoo's awesome.
It's fantastic.
We used to go the day before school or the Sunday before the first week of school there for years, and then we kind of stopped. But I always ask Scarlett, I said, hey, let's go to the zoo. You want to go to the zoo? No. I'm like, man, I have more fun than these kids do.
I know. I think you get outside, you get to see some animals.
Oh yeah. Nice zoo.
It's a great time. My mom got us one of those passes, the year season pass or something for Christmas one year, and that was an awesome gift. Like she really crushed it on that one because it.
So you probably utilized that, huh?
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, you go up, you don't have to pay for entry. You just if you buy drinks and food and whatever and. Yeah. What was cool too is if you're going up just to do some shopping or something, you can stop in at the zoo and walk around for a little bit, get some nature, and then you can go about your business and stuff.
Right.
And you don't feel like you wasted any time or money because you can come anytime you want.
Yeah,
and
that's nice. A pass is nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I do want to go up there when they have like their Halloween.
We did that a couple years ago, probably 5 years ago now. Yeah. It was fun. Yeah, my daughter's dressed up. I believe it's a minion.
Oh, cool.
And I wore my Count Dooku outfit.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I didn't do my hair or anything, but I had my cape and lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a dork.
Yeah, no, I am too. I mean,
might as well.
I know. I just enjoy. I mean, for years I spent, hiding it. Like, I don't want anybody to know I'm a nerd. I don't.
And then you're married with 3 kids. It's like, let it fly.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think. I can go home to my family and be accepted. Or,
Yeah.
Plus
what's real nice is when they're young, they don't care so much.
They think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah. They're just like, my dad's so fun.
My stepson, he was in a costume all the time up until he was probably 11, 12 years old. All the time. Of course, he's a skinny kid. In good shape, so he could fit into any costume.
Yeah,
I always admired that, and I was like, man, I was always too fat.
I
shouldn't say that, but just I was overweight. I was chubby. I couldn't fit in those costumes like he did. And so I loved the fact that he wore those costumes. He met his best friend when he
that's fantastic.
Put on Darth Vader outfit.
Heck yeah,
and just went and sat. They were having a yard sale out in this field across the street from our house.
Yeah.
And they had a couch they were trying to sell, and Riley just went over and sat down in his Darth Vader outfit and just monitored. So I kept looking out the window. He's still there. And so and I knew the neighbors, very good friends, and they had a son that was about a year older than Riley, and and Amber's like, well, is is he talking to him? Is he playing with their kid? And I was like, no, he's just sitting there monitoring the event.
I mean, that's what Vader would do.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then he finally got to talking to the who's now one of his best friends. Matter of fact, they live together. They're roommates. So isn't that funny? But he was dressed up as Darth Vader.
Isn't that amazing about kids? It doesn't matter where they're at, what they're doing. They can make friends.
Mm-hmm. It's not hard.
No,
it's not hard.
It's like, hey, do you like Hot Wheels? I do.
Oh, yeah.
We're friends.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. You know what? I have carried that philosophy with me throughout life. Like, let's say you're starting over at a new job or something, right? And who do you know? You don't know anybody. So, one of the tricks I learned from Dale Carnegie, how to win friends and influence people, man, you got to identify one little thing that you have in common.
Yeah.
And go, boom. Yeah. That's where boom, right there, start right there. And then make that person feel like what you're listening, you care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's worked.
And
that's like a kid, hey, Hot Wheels? Yeah. Star Wars? G.I. Joe? What do you like? What do you play? What kind of toys do you have?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know you and I have joked. We were just like, it's Star Wars. Oh, next thing you know, we're talking.
Yeah.
And here we are.
We've done a couple podcasts now with heavy influence of lightsabers and Star Wars.
I mean, no, it's, speaking of starting a new job, I moved into a new position and new spot. And so, yeah, it really hits home, and that's kind of what I've been doing is trying to make some connections at work and get to know some people. And I have to say everybody's been fantastic. Everybody I've worked with, everybody I've met.
You've got a good group.
Yeah, I appreciate every one of them. They've been super helpful.
How cool is Deeves?
Oh,
Deeves is pretty cool, ain't he?
Good guy. Yeah. I work with him on one of the areas we're at. So, and just a good guy.
He's cool.
Tom, Jody.
Oh, yeah, Tom and Jody they're
fantastic.
Great.
Mario's been phenomenal.
You went to a very good team.
I am. Yeah, I got
I'm
super
happy
lucky
for you. And then of course, Brandon and I are over there.
Yeah.
So you
guys
can eat
are over there
lunch with us anytime. And now Tiffany and Katie are
Yeah.
there, which
are great people.
Yeah. So we'll have a North Campus.
I know. Like a reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
a North Campus influence.
There we go.
Here.
Yeah. I've been real fortunate. I mean, of course, I was nervous, and it was a change that I wasn't planning. But again, life happens.
Well, it's all about curveballs. Life throws curveballs at you, but once in a while, you hit that sucker out of the park.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it when you can.
Yeah.
So, that's you just try to find that thing. Be kid-like in that approach, almost.
Yeah. I mean, I think as adults, you find it hard to kind of open up, because especially, I don't know, I guess I come from, I don't know what they call the millennials. I know, scary. But honestly, I feel like we're almost a generation of anxiety because there's so, there's so much and everything. And we're so afraid of how people perceive us and all this different stuff and everything. Wow. And so when you go into a new environment, you're just like, ugh, and you kind of like close down a little bit. And then when you start meeting your people, and
you become more you.
You open up and I'm kind of I don't want to say a weird guy, but I'm
you can be quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I passed each other for 7 years, Josh, and didn't say a word to each other.
I get real hesitant about meeting new people because it's what am I trying to say? Like putting yourself out there.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, comfort zone. There we go.
You know who your friends are.
Yeah.
And then here's someone else.
Yeah.
What are they like?
Yeah.
Are they gonna like you? Do they like your clothes? The way?
Yes. Yeah. Because I mean that was a bit that now that we're on that, like I give a huge amount of credit to these current young kids, anywhere between like the ages of like 5 to 18. They are so much more just open with They don't really care so much about what people think about what the clothes they wear. They don't really, care, what kind of stuff they're into.
What kind of piercings they have.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
Are you wearing cat ears? Do you have a tail?
Yeah.
Is your hair purple, pink, green?
Yeah. What kind of fashion
blue?
you into? Like, what kind of music? Like, I was always paranoid. Like, if I wasn't listening to the right music, what are people going to say? Like, oh, look at this guy. Now they don't
Let it
care.
fly.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
Yeah. I'm so proud of some of these young kids that they're just like, I don't care.
There's no judgment.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I long for a day where there's, no judgment.
Yeah. It's really refreshing, and I'm happy to see it. Like, I see it in my own kids. Like, they get shy and they get a little bashful about stuff at times, but then next thing you know, I mean, Connor, he it's his first year playing football. He's really putting himself out there, and I'm so proud of him. He's really taken a step towards playing, and we had the fundraiser with the Nelson's Chicken, which went
Yeah,
really
that was
good.
delicious, by the way.
Thanks to everybody that came out, because
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
That was cool.
I love this community, man.
Yeah.
They come out and they support, and that's awesome. But this kid, so shy when he got there. You could just see the nerves on him. And then he gets out there with his buddies, and he's out there. Next thing I know, 10 minutes into it, he is screaming into people's windows to come get chicken.
Yeah.
Just full.
Yeah.
And it took him a little bit of time, but that's what I love. They don't really think about what people.
What's this yokel think about me?
Yeah, they're just having a good time, and they're being themselves, and that's all you can ask
Let them be
from
kids.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I might have been a little too hard or too not necessarily strict, but sometimes I think I might not have let Riley just be a kid. He was, and he did. I might be a little too hard on myself right now, but I was like, let him be a kid. Sometimes I have to tell myself that.
No, don't feel bad. I do the same thing with Bennett. I mean, I see this kid. He's not so much of a kid anymore. Like, I look at him now, and I'm like, oh, he's becoming a young man. And
he's your oldest.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of responsibility, and I do feel bad at times, because it's like I feel like I've taken some of his childhood away.
Well, responsibilities are important, Josh.
But he's just such a good kid.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
He takes on these responsibilities, and he doesn't really gripe. I mean, you get the.
We got to get him prepared for I hate to say it, the real world, right?
Yeah.
The real world, but good. The real world kind of sucks.
It does, and yeah.
I don't think it should be as hard as it is.
Yeah.
But it is. So, until we can figure out how to change that, which I wonder if money's not the driving force behind that. But
yeah, and that's a whole nother issue. It's a bummer,
Yeah, capitalism, which I'm okay with. It's probably the best system we got.
Yeah.
But the money, the drive for the making of money, and everything's so expensive nowadays. You need as much as you can get. It's I don't know, man. There's some issues out there.
Yeah,
for sure.
It would be nice if we could focus a little more, and I think that's again what some of these younger groups do. They've found little cheat codes to be like, oh yeah, we need money, but on the other hand, I also want to enjoy my life,
and I don't want other people to be miserable either.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's kind of, I guess, my motto in life. It's like, I don't want anybody to be miserable, so I try to bring the good vibes when I can, and try to be a little more upbeat. It's not always
a challenge
happens, but
it's a challenge, But you doing that and being that way, it probably helped somebody. Probably made somebody's day better.
And I'm a big believer on that too. We never know what anybody else is struggling with.
Nope.
We don't know what they've got going on.
Battles, everybody's fighting a battle.
Exactly. So
every one of us, no matter how much money we've got, we're fighting a battle somewhere.
Yeah. And if we could be a bright spot in someone's day, I mean, I'll be honest. a few months ago, at work, some things happened. We were given some bad news about our department, and the things were going to be changing, and there was going to be some restructuring and stuff, and it's a real bummer. It's hard to hear that, especially when you've got so much time in, and so it was kind of rough. So I went to the local Starbucks to kind of get me a little bit of a pickup and stuff, and
caffeine's good for that.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe the person in front of me could just tell in my face I was having a rough moment. But I get up to the window,
they pay
and
for
I go
it.
to pay. They paid for it. They
Nice.
paid for it, and I don't know if that person is listening or is out there, or where they're from, whatever. But thank you. That really helped the day. It was just that small little act. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
that is great.
It's I guess that's my
Pay
call
it
to
forward.
action for everybody out there is be a bright spot for somebody at some point.
Pay it forward. Remember when Family Guy, when Peter Griffin learned CPR and
oh my gosh, excuse me.
He went out there and saved somebody because he had a fender bender, so he did CPR. Of course, he about killed the person. He says, "No need to thank me, just pay it forward."
Yeah.
no need to thank me.
Like
I say that a lot. No need to thank me.
Yeah. God, I love that show. I know.
Make you laugh, man.
Yeah. Seth MacFarlane's a genius.
He is. He is a genius, a comedy genius.
The Orville. I don't think it gets
one
the
of my.
credit
No,
it
it doesn't. It doesn't.
I like it because, for one, he stayed true to like the Star Trek. Star Trek. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I am so sorry. I misspoke on that one. He stayed true to it because that's what his goal was. He wanted to not make it a satire, but he also wanted to do his own thing and add a little bit of comedy to it.
Which some of those scenes with like Bortus and was it Clyburn? Bortus's mate,
Yeah.
Oh my God! When those guys go at it, it is hilarious.
'Cause
Remember when they were at the rave? They were at the rave and they started dancing.
Yeah,
I lost it, man.
Yeah.
Said that's funny.
It's because I think it's because they're so dry. Like
right. They're so dry. So when they do something like that, and one of them smokes,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's. I think it was. I think it was Bortus. Yeah, he had the mustache.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, man.
And everybody looks at, whoa. The great Norm Macdonald was on
there.
Always great.
Yeah.
Love Norm.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And remember when they had the guy that voices or does Isaac. So they had him on there when he was on the I want to say the holodeck, when he was talking to the doctor, and so that was really him, who we don't see, because he's in the costume. And then they had Norm on there too, because he's that little the little blob. Or something.
I don't know, like a slime or something, Yeah. Is it, what's his name? I was gonna say Rick Grimes. I don't think that's it because that's Walking Dead.
Yeah. Scott Grimes.
Scott Grimes. That guy,
dude. I was
talented.
so glad to see him in a show.
So talented.
He's awesome.
He plays Steve on American Dad.
Yeah.
And the guy can sing because he does all the singing in that show as Steve.
Yeah, Scott Grimes is Steve.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I knew that. I love Scott Grimes. He was in Critters, dude.
No way.
Have you ever seen Critters?
It's been so that movie terrified me as a child.
1 and 2.
That I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about that movie.
It was freaky.
At that time, you have to understand, at that time, young Josh was terrified.
Sure, I get it.
Things.
It freaked me out, but I loved it, especially the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
They were hilarious. A matter of fact, you'll get a kick out of this. My first band I had, we recorded an EP in 1994, which is years after Critters came out.
Yeah.
But we titled the EP, We've Come for the Krites. That's what we titled it, which is what the bounty hunter says. He goes, "We've come for the Krites."
Yeah.
He's talking about the little critters.
Oh, those things. They form up in a ball.
Yeah, and start
Yeah.
start rolling. Silly, but
You know, that irrational fear that you cannot hang a foot over the bed or something. Like, and then
yeah,
they shoot that one scene where the dad or something's looking under the bed and like all that. Nope.
Yeah.
Even to this day, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I should hang a foot off the bed.
Don't look under the bed.
Yeah.
Don't look in the closet. The typical stereotype horror movies, you know.
You know the thing that I cannot stand in a horror movie.
What's that?
The people that act like they run like they're in a dream.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're trying to run from something and you're like your arms are pumping, but nothing. You're not going anywhere. Like that, and then the fall. It's like what'd you trip
They're
over?
Going to fall.
But yeah, every time.
Going to fall. Every time. You know what though, Josh? It seems to me the older I get, I fall or trip easier. Now that could be because I have an arthritic foot that's all messed up with a high arc. So it would appear to the average person that I'm drunk and intoxicated would know it's my foot.
Yeah.